What up? Hello, peoples. Back at you again with another live video. Oh, fuck yeah. I was gonna buy longer screws to fix the back end of this, but I ended up using the screws that were already in it. And I jerry-rigged my chair so that it's more functional. The back end's not way the fuck back, you know what I'm saying? This is actually functioning quite comfortably like a chair now. Excellent. The stain on my tobacco pipe is drying quite nicely. It looks black in the distance, but when you shine it in the light, it's dark green. You can't tell me that's not cool. Well, the chair was given to me and it arrived in crappy condition. It was a free chair, so I made the best of it and I fixed it up, and now it's my handiwork seems to have fixed this chair up quite nicely. Yeah. Well, I made a Facebook Live video and it showed my feet with the thing when you're wearing, when you wear socks for X amount of days, you're supposed to change your freaking socks every day, but I do it like maybe every 4 days. And that's not good for your feet, and that caused my feet to get red, dry, and itchy. And I made a video on Facebook. I'm like, hey, Facebook, check out my feet. That could be why people on Reddit are talking about my feet. They're like, this motherfucker right here in his feet. I'll definitely be running errands quite nicely tomorrow morning. Yes. Yeah, I kind of realize that now. Thank you, Brittany, for telling me. No one tells you, hey, if your feet get sweaty or wet and you wear the same pair of socks for 4 days straight, it makes your feet go red, dry, and blistery. So I'm not even wearing socks right now just to help air out my feet so they quit blistering, and now my feet feel 10,000 times better. Despite the fact there's snow on the ground, which is bound to happen as it did rain earlier. Well, that's the thing of it. You're told, I was told growing up, change your socks. And when you don't listen, you find out the hard way why you should have listened. When I'm limping down the street because my feet are so dry, It's like, dude. I don't need new shoes. I just got new shoes not too long ago. These shoes are practically brand spanking new. They're steel-toed, they're water resistant. And yet, despite walking to my friend's house for a brief minute and then getting a ride back to my place, got no snow in my boots, or boot shoes, whatever the fuck they're called. So, it's not an issue of, excuse me, it's not an issue of needing new boots or anything. It's just an issue of changing my socks more. Yeah. Doing it, I suppose, so I don't have to do nearly as much laundry at the end of the 2 weeks. So it makes my laundry load a little bit cheaper, but my feet suffer for it. And it's just like, well, disappear for a second, come back up on the scene like, what's good? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I told Summer my apartment was haunted, and she's like, I want to do some ghost hunting. I'm down for that. So tomorrow when I get off work, I'll have one or two, at least, yeah, I'm going to try to shoot for two, of like at least 2 different 6-packs of tasty alcoholic beverage. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to get a 6-pack of Coney Island root beer in the glass bottles. That shit is delicious. It's going to require this son of a bitch right here, which is a cobra-shaped bottle opener. Just check this out. I got another bottle opener. Check out my Jack Daniels guitar-shaped bottle opener. How sick is that? Guess how I got that bottle opener? I bought a bottle of Jack Daniels Tennessee honey whiskey. Like one time I bought a bottle of Tennessee honey whiskey and my drink of choice, of course. Buying a bottle of my drink of choice and it came with a guitar-shaped bottle opener. I'm just saying, like, come on now. Yeah. Mm. I've been smoking out of my tobacco pipe nonstop, and it's been paying off because all that excess paint is coming off, and the pipe is being stained perfectly smooth. It's looking real good. Looking very, very nice. Very nice, Facebook. Very, very nice. You know, these fucking haters pretending to be my sister on YouTube just to fucking make fun of me in a video. Oh, Samuel, get her driver's license before you do at this point. Yeah, joke's on them. Joke's on them. When I do get my driver's license and say up to drive my Studebaker, then what the fuck are they gonna say? Then they'll just talk shit on my car. That's all they do. That's all haters do is talk shit. You know, fuck them. In all honesty. You wish you were as cool as my family. That's why you fucking impersonate my family on social media to make fun of me. That's why you impersonate me, of all things, you know? And it's just, it's sad. I feel so bad for these individuals who try so hard to fuck with me on social media. It's like you have nothing better to do than to try to pick on somebody who's autistic. Oh, that's, wow. Slow clap for you. I was bullied in school growing up, and I get bullied on social media, so I've kind of gotten used to it. And when you get used to bullying in general, you learn to cope with it and ignore it. There are plenty of people out there who have never been bullied in their entire life, and then all of a sudden they think, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and contribute something to the world, you know? And for a lot of people who haven't been bullied, and then they start a YouTube channel, and all of a sudden they're getting all this negative crap thrown their way just for making a video, and it's like, fuck. I also want to give a shout out to a YouTuber called It's Black Friday. She's a gothic YouTuber, and well, I'm not gonna say what she's going through because it's none of my business to talk about it. But she's a positive YouTube influence on a lot of people, and I just want to hope and say that her life goes a little bit better because I'm subscribed to her channel, of course. Us fellow goths gotta subscribe to each other on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? And I was watching one of her videos recently where she talked about some of her personal stuff, and I'm like, ah, if I lived a little bit closer, like if I lived in Germany and I didn't have a girlfriend, you know, it'd be a different scenario altogether. I would date It's Black Friday if I didn't have a girlfriend and I lived closer to Germany, you know. But I'm confident she'll find somebody, you know. Right now, she has a bunch of people on YouTube who care about her, and that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Not going to say too much more on the issue, but one thing It's Black Friday says on YouTube, she goes, and I quote, be nice to each other and that sort of thing, you know. She's basically encouraging people on YouTube and in social media in general to be a little bit nicer to one another. And that kind of genuine positivity is hard to find, to be brutally honest. And it was refreshing. You got this creepy sort of sexy goth chick doing her thing on social media, and then at the end of it, you're not expecting to be nice to each other, you know what I'm saying? Because goths in general give off this impression of creepy and antisocial. So a lot of people will see goths in public and they're just like, who the fuck is that person? If there's anybody who understands being single, I was single for a long ass time. And I cherish the fact that I've actually found a girl for the moment being, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna jinx it. Knock on wood, it could end at any moment. So cherish every moment. If you have somebody special in your life, you gotta cherish every moment you're with them because it could end in the blink of an eye, you know. Case in point, there was this couple who survives the Las Vegas shooting only to die in a fucking car crash a couple weeks later. Like one of those ain't that some shit moments. Now, could you imagine this couple going to a country music concert, surviving the Las Vegas shooting? I can only imagine that would make your love for that person grow that much stronger, surviving a tragedy like that. only to die in a fucking car crash like 3 to 4 weeks later. Like, that's literally in life, that's what they call an ain't that some shit moment. Because that's exactly what it is. And when I seen that story on CNN, it kind of got to me a little bit. Like when I seen that story about the couple who died in that car crash after surviving such a horrific event, it made me less bitchy about being single. Like before, I'd bitch about it every other fucking day. Like I'd crack my sarcastic wit about it, if you will. But after seeing a story like that on CNN, it made me appreciate being single. Because when you have a girlfriend, it's awesome, but it makes you so vulnerable, dude. You don't even know. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And when I say vulnerable, I mean if someone were to hurt your girlfriend, it would suck so bad. Like the pain and the depression, knowing that if you couldn't have been there to stop it, you would feel 10 times worse, And I hate thinking like that, but it's the fucking truth, Facebook. This paint's just coming right off. And there's enough paint in here on this pipe to like literally stain it completely dark green. And all that excess paint that's coming off, it's leaving behind this smooth finish. Like the majority of the bowl is pretty smooth right now. And as it heats up, all that extra paint from the spray paint comes off the bowl. And then it just leaves the smooth green wood behind. So it's one way of restaining your pipe, but if you're going to restain your pipe, I'd recommend using actual tobacco pipe stain, but a bottle of dark green tobacco pipe stain is like $80 a bottle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, okay, if I'm the one smoking out of it, I don't care how professional it looks. I'm going to do the best. I'm going to do the best of my ability. And I'm the one smoking out of it, so who fucking cares? If that's your attitude towards it, then you can use spray paint. But I'm telling you right now, you want to do a very, very, very light coating when you first sand it. Otherwise, it'll be drying for a couple of days, and then, yeah. And I'm definitely 1000% confident that once all the paint's done coming off this tobacco pipe, and all that's left is this beautifully dark green stained wood. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting there, like the good majority of this bowl right now, like all the way around right here is smooth. So yeah, this paint's coming off in layers, and when the one layer that sticks to it stays on, the rest of it comes off. At least now it's dry enough so I can smoke out of it, and it's not going to be a nuisance. I mean, for the most part, this tobacco pipe looked good. You know what I'm saying? And even smoking out of it while the paint's coming off, it's not going to come off on my hands too easily unless I really press into it. You know what I'm saying? The stem is not super loose, but it's loose enough so I can pull it out real quick. Stick it back in there. It's loose enough to where it'll unscrew easily, but tight enough to where I can't just pull it out. You know what I'm saying? Hello. Conspiracy theories are what they are, but I believe it happened. But just because the Vegas lost shooting happened doesn't mean that we're going to start blaming bumfire stocks for the incidents. No. Because people are the ones that create these extensions for our guns. And if they're used responsibly, nobody bats an eye. But if they're used irresponsibly, people throw a huge bitch fit for obvious reasons. It looks black from a distance, but you shine it in the light and it's dark green, legitly. Good luck, Jeremy Chills, on your trip to Las Vegas. Maybe you'll win a couple $1,000s, you never know. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, you know what I'm saying? The thing about the Las Vegas shooting is it didn't just stay in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? It affected an entire nation. You know what I'm saying? People are looking at this like, what the fuck? And then the shooting at the Baptist church in Texas followed it. And then another shooting after that. And it's just like, when's it going to end? You know? It'd be nice if the shootings in our country would just stop. And if it could channel that anger towards America's enemies instead of fighting with each other over stupid shit. But what the fuck do I know, right? Exactly. I'm going to temper the stem so it fits tighter in my pipe. As a responsible gun owner, I get so sick and tired of guns being blamed for our society's problems. And people will look at me and go, well, nobody gives a shit about side-by-side shotguns. They're more pissed off at the assault rifles. Beside the point, it doesn't matter what gun you use. A gun's a gun, period. You know? And guns are not the fucking problem. People are the fucking problem. You know, people are the ones that invented guns in the first place. That's why I say guns don't kill people, people kill people. And a lot of people get tired of me saying that, but it's the fucking truth. You know, you stick a fork in the outlet and you get electrocuted. Is that the fork or the outlet's fault? The answer is no. That's a crude example, but there you go. Oh yeah, this pipe is looking way good. The paint's coming off like it's supposed to. Every time I've stained my tobacco pipes with spray paint in the past, I've done it before, mind you. And every time I've stained my tobacco pipes with paint, it always does what it's doing right now. And when it's doing this process right here, where it's just coming off in layers and leaving behind the color, then I know I stained it just right. And holding it's going to be a little bit funky at first, but then eventually it'll all be silky smooth when all that extra paint comes off. No, I didn't get hurt. I just have a problem with changing my socks. If I didn't change them every 3 to 4 days, they would get red and rashy and disgusting. And yeah. You see, I'm so famous on social media that, you know, I get a little rash on my feet and everybody's talking about it like, oh, did you hear about Gothic King Cobra's feet? No, that sounds gross and painful at the same time. the paint's coming off the bowl here, and it's you look at this color, it's really dark green, really smooth as the paint comes off in layers and shit. I mean, I can still smoke out of it, yes. It's dry enough that I can smoke out of it, but as I smoke out of it, and the wood from my pipe heats up, all that extra paint's coming off. All the layers are coming off. And it leaves behind the color of the paint, basically. So yeah, if you're going to restain your pipes, it's easier just to use tobacco pipe stain instead of spray paints. And also a lot wiser, but you can use spray paint. It's just a bit of a process. It takes longer to dry, that sort of thing. Yeah. Restaining your tobacco pipe with spray paint is a labor of love. If you want it to come out looking semi-decent, there's so much that goes into it. I'm checking this out in the light, and this is looking really good. I might add a gloss to it once all the paint comes off, and nothing left but the smooth finish. But there's no sense in adding gloss. There's no sense in adding any sort of lacquer to it until all that paint comes off, and then there's nothing left but the stain itself. Yeah, you can see, like, oh, you can't really see, but like right around where I'm rotating is pretty much smooth. Pretty much from here all the way around and down here all the way around is still nothing but paint. Like half of the bowl, the paint's come off properly on half of the bowl, where it's a smooth ass finish. And then from like here here all the way around and down around here, you know what I'm saying? So even after the paint's done drying, you still gotta, if there's too many layers on it, it takes forever, you know what I'm saying, for it to come off. But when all that paint's done coming off, this will be a smooth, dark green pipe for sure. It's dry enough that I can smoke out of it, and the paint's not going to get all over the place, at least. It already looks good even with the paint still coming off. It's going to look that much better when it's done coming off completely. Oh, this is magnificent, YouTube. I'm glad I fixed my chair earlier. Now, you see me in my chair before. Now, actually, the back end stays up like it's supposed to. Before, it would just sag off the back with the arm attached to the chair. It's like, what the shit? A pipe like this, it depends on where you go. I think I might have paid under $30 for mine. If you have a Walgreens drugstore, you should be able to get a Dr. Grabo tobacco pipe for 35, $40. And Dr. Grabo's are excellent starter pipes. If you can't find anything in your town that sells tobacco pipes, try the next town over. And if they don't have anything, then you can always order tobacco pipes online. That would be intense, CJ, but I don't think you can legally do that. But they do sell tobacco pipes made out of bones. I'm sure if you look online, you could probably find something cool. This tobacco pipe is made out of your traditional briar wood and a vulcanite stem. Vulcanite is a type of super hard plastic. How long will a pipe last? That is a good question, CJ. Depends on how you take care of it. If you take care of your pipes, they'll last you a lifetime. There is a YouTuber out there who smokes a pipe, and he's an older gentleman. And he was smoking out of a pipe that's almost 200 years old. You know what I'm saying? So if you take good care of your tobacco pipes, they last a lifetime. Could you imagine smoking out of a tobacco pipe? Older, and I do mean this. Imagine smoking out of a tobacco pipe older than anybody in your family and you put together. That'd be some shit. Like if somebody handed me a tobacco pipe with some dank ass tobacco and I'm sitting there puffing away at it, I'm like, dude, this pipe's amazing. And if they said, yeah, that's 400 years old, I'd be like, ugh. Like trying to picture smoking on a tobacco pipe that's 400 years old. That would be intense. Like, I can only imagine the history that pipe has seen. You know. presuming that the people who smoke their pipes don't have them buried with them or some shit like that. You know. The pipe tool. This is very essential to smoking a pipe. Now, let's say you get done smoking your pipe, you grab your poker, dig around a bit, then you grab your scooper, get in there and scoop out the ash. So when you're done smoking a pipe, you can literally scoop out your tobacco chamber. Now, if your pipe gets too clogged in here, take your pipe tool and your poker, and you want to go through the back just like that. And unclogs your pipe. Get like a paper clip or some pipe cleaners for your stem. And now that your pipe is empty, it's really quite simple. What does the pipe tool do? The pipe tool is just as essential as the pipe smoker's light. The people think you have to be Daddy Warbucks to smoke a pipe. Quite the contrary. I just refilled my carry bag with some more of that Cherokee pipe tobacco that I've been smoking on. And when you're out of cigarettes, a big ass bag like this will last you a long ass time. It's a non-aromatic, but it's good tobacco. Oh yeah, you open it, it smells like raisins. And you got your wooden pipe ready to go. Just sprinkle your tobacco in there. Pack it down in there. I'll show you what the pipe tool is for. It's quite easy. And quite simple, really. If you don't have a pipe tool or a packer, you're definitely going to want to get one. And you can smoke a pipe without a pipe tool, but it's a pain in the ass. Fair warning, so you always pick one up at your local cigar shop. If you don't have one, order it with your pipe online. Simple as that. Okay, so you got your tobacco loaded up in there. Now, if you pack your pipe too tight, you take your poker, you poke down into your bowl, lift that tobacco up just like that, or poke a hole down the middle, just like that. Loosen it up. Now, in order to properly smoke a pipe, you're going to first need your pipe full of tobacco, then you got your char light. You grab your packer. After you've charred your tobacco, you want to take your tamper, you want to pack the tobacco down into your bowl just like that, and then light it again. That's what your pipe tool's for. Some pipe smokers will carry their pipe in a bag. I carry mine in my coat pocket. If you're smoking a pipe for the first time, then it's always recommended that you start off with aromatics. Oh yeah, pipe smoking is quite relaxing, especially if you get a tasty pipe tobacco that just smells really good and it tastes really good. Now, here's the thing, people will say, well, you're not supposed to inhale a pipe, you're supposed to puff on it to taste the tobacco. Again, that's personal choice. When I'm smoking my pipe, I don't initially inhale on every puff. There are times that I just puff on it and let the smoke casually drift out my mouth as to taste it. I still absorb nicotine through the roof of my mouth, but there are occasions where I do fully puff, drag, inhale, exhale, you know. And pipe tobacco has a lot of different flavors that you can try. There's so many delicious aromatic blends out there that smell good, taste good, that'll please anyone's sweet tooth, you know. And once you start getting into it and you feel like your tobacco legs are savvy enough, you might try a non-aromatic, you know. Because the thing that would suck is you get a tobacco pipe, you think, oh, this is cool, you know, I'm going to try pipe smoking for the first time. And then you try it, you don't like it. It happens to a lot of people. But then you spend all this money on a tobacco pipe that you're not even going to fucking use. So if you're going to start off with a tobacco pipe, if you don't want to spend too much money on a tobacco pipe, corncob pipes are always great starter pipes. You know, people talk a lot of shit because they're comical in their own special way, but jokes aside, corncob pipes, you know, if you take care of them, they're cheaper, they don't cost as much, and they smoke just fine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But Casper, Wyoming has a couple of liquor stores, a couple of cigar stores, and a Walgreens. So yeah, there are a couple of places that sell pipes and cigars and what have you. So I got several spots here in town that I can easily access pipes and tobacco and what have you. But if you live in a town that doesn't have a cigar shop, you're thinking to yourself, fuck. You try the next town over, they don't have shit either. You know, there's like, if there isn't a cigar shop for like 3 to 4 towns, and you have to drive like to the 5th town just to go to the local cigar shop. Some people end up doing that if they don't want to order online and wait for shipping and all that bullshit. The unfortunate thing is you have to be 21 years of age or older to order tobacco products online. That's just a way for tobacco sellers to ensure that high schoolers aren't getting a hold of tobacco products. So if you don't want to order online because you can't, you're 21, and the closest cigar shop is like 5 towns over, you know what I'm saying? And you want to smoke a pipe bad enough, you'll make that trip. It's going to be a little expensive on gas. So the thing you got to ask yourself, okay, you already spent all this money on gas and a car ride just to get over there. You know, do you want to spend money that much more on a nice wooden pipe or a nice little starter tobacco pipe? You know what I'm saying? The thing about corn cobs, though, you got to be careful when you're scraping them out because that cob gets hot and you can very easily puncture the bottom of your corncob pipe, and it sucks because when it breaks, then you're like, well, fuck, now you're pretty much shit out of luck. So when I'm scraping this wooden pipe out, however, it does just fine. It doesn't puncture the bottom or anything. So if you're gonna spend that much money driving 5 towns over just to get a tobacco pipe and some decent pipe tobacco and a pipe tool, because Bic lighters, you can get them at any gas station. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to use wooden matches, a lot of old school pipe smokers will use hemp wick or wooden matches to spark their tobacco. They think it tastes, well, they say, I don't think they, yeah, they say it tastes better. You can taste the flavor of the tobacco better. But matches work, and then they don't work. A lighter is a bit more reliable than a match. So using a traditional big lighter to smoke your pipe, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There are people who are pipe snobs, and they think, well, if you don't have a certain type of match or a certain type of tobacco on a pipe of a certain caliber, that you're not a pipe smoker, and that's bullshit. Pipe snobbery sucks, man. They're just like wine snobs. They think that your pipe has to be super expensive and your tobacco has to be super fancy. You know, fuck that. I went to the Mills smoke shop with Summer and she bought me a bag of this Cherokee pipe tobacco that I've had for a couple of weeks now. Like $15. So like $14 and some odd cents, but with $15 even, you basically guaranteed to get a full bag of tobacco. And there's enough tobacco in there to roll like 2.5 cartons when you first get it. You see what I'm saying? If you're not rolling them by hand, and you have a pipe, $15 for like damn near 2.5 cartons worth of tobacco versus $6.07 for a pack. Now, if you buy 2 packs of smokes, that's like 12 something. So you can buy 2 packs of name brand cigarettes for Wyoming prices, or you could end up buying a bigger bag of tobacco for way cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And like for the price of 3 cigarette packs, you could buy a bag of that tobacco. And it's being cheaper on the pockets, and you know what I'm saying? Pipe tobacco is just generally speaking a lot cheaper than cigarettes in the long run. And not only is pipe tobacco cheaper than cigarettes, but it also has less chemicals. And generally speaking, smells better to non-smokers. If you have an aromatic blend, of course. This Cherokee pipe tobacco is a non-aromatic blend. It's cut like cigarette tobacco and pretty much smokes like cigarette tobacco. It's a better alternative than digging out of an ashtray and squeezing the butt into your pipe, you know what I'm saying? Pipe smoking or vaping, which do you think is healthier? If you guess pipe smoking, you are correct. The risk of getting pneumonia with a vapor pen is far higher than the risk of getting lung cancer from tobacco. And if you're smoking a pipe and you habitually don't inhale, the only risk you're going to run getting is potential throat cancer and mouth cancer, and maybe gum disease and tooth loss from smoking a pipe if you don't inhale. Now, if you do inhale your tobacco, you run the risk of getting lung cancer, heart disease, and a bunch of other shit. But people come up to me and they've said, oh, smoking's bad for you. And I'm like, and your point? I say that so sarcastically because what isn't bad for you these days? Cell phones are bad for you. The sun's bad for you. Exercise is considered healthy, but if you exercise too much, you can pull a muscle and strain yourself. So, you know, for you to sit there and say that I'm a scumbag because I smoke tobacco to relieve my stress, in some way that makes you a hypocrite, because every human on this miserable, stinking planet does something to relieve stress. Even if it's not healthy, they still do something to relieve stress, you know. So maybe you don't smoke cigarettes, but you take a nice stroll through the forest or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're asking someone why they smoke cigarettes. Why the fuck do you go on? Why the fuck do you go on those long ass walks? Because it relieves your stress. Exactly. And for one human to judge another human for relieving stress, that's the basic principle of it. So even if you don't smoke tobacco, for you to sit there and say, oh, that's disgusting, you know, it's a bit hypocritical because humans are disgusting by nature. We fight over the stupidest of things. Which country has more nukes? At the end of the fucking day, that war is pointless and irrelevant. Because 2 countries over aren't even fighting about your stupid shit, and you know what I'm saying? Quick question. Why do Zippo pipe lighters have the hole in them? That is a good question, actually. To answer your question, this is a standard Zippo. Now, when you spark a standard Zippo, the flame goes straight up. The reason why a pipe Zippo has that hole in the middle is so when you light the Zippo, it makes your pipe easier to light. That hole in the middle, instead of the flame going straight up, you use it to light your pipe, and that hole in the middle of your pipe Zippo, the flame's going to go straight down. You can use a Zippo just like this to light your pipe, but pipe Zippos are generally speaking a little bit fancier than your standard Bics. Yes, I've seen those myself several times, and the first time I seen what they were used for, I'm like, it makes total sense. So they're a Zippo lighter, but they're made completely separate from your standard Zippo. They do have those, yes. But a lot of people don't use Zippos to light their pipe because they don't want the taste of Zippo fluid in their pipe tobacco, but I've used my Zippo to light my pipe many times. And I never taste any of the fluid when I'm lighting it. So maybe the people who taste Zippo fluid when they're using their Zippo, you know, maybe your Zippo's leaky and you need to replace your shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I've used my Zippos to light my pipe many times, and I never taste Zippo fluid, so I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about. You're inhaling a water-based vapor. When it's made and condensed, it's condensed water steam, basically. And when it uncondenses, you're basically inhaling water into your lungs, which fills your airways up with water, basically. And when you're forcing liquid into your airways, all your air sacs in your lungs are going to fill up with water. And eventually these individual air sacs will pop if they get too full of e-liquid, so to speak. So if your moderation with the electronic cigarette is you do it every so often, you don't get excessive with it, you know what I'm saying? It's not entirely bad for you, but still. And, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people who have quit smoking cigarettes have switched to pipe, and either they continue to smoke a pipe or they eventually quit smoking the pipe and they just quit cold turkey completely. Me, I haven't quit smoking. I'm not going to quit smoking anytime soon. But when you're out of cigarettes, and cigarettes are rather expensive, and pipe tobacco ends up being cheaper, it's just easier on my pockets. And, you know, if someone else is offering to buy tobacco for me, it's easier on their pocket too. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Bic lighters. I like Bic lighters. They're very resourceful. If you can't afford a nice pipe lighter, then Bic lighters are the next best thing. And they're disposable, so as soon as one runs out, you buy another one. This is your classic black one. This one should last me till tomorrow morning. I got plenty of matchbooks lying around in case this one runs out. I'm out of Zippo fluid, so the Bic lighters generally tend to last me like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck me, it's dying. I might have a spare Bic in my drawer somewhere, so if this one does die, I should have one that's got like half a tank full. Never hurts to keep a spare lighter lying around. I don't have children running around, so I don't have any kids of my own. So I pop the safety off mine, which is that little safety wheel right there. But smoking a tobacco pipe can be very relaxing. You get a fine smelling tobacco that's strong, and you sit back and you enjoy it. You don't let anything stress you out. You just take the time to relax your senses, to fully appreciate the full body of the smoke, and let the calm nicotine wash over you and relax. You take time to focus on the problems at hand rather than worry the problems that are not worth your time. And you ponder the finer things in life, really. Simple as that. Simple as that, Facebook. When that kind of thing happens, it sucks, but what do? You grab your spare lighter, that's what you do. You think to yourself, oh, what's going to happen when the lighter dies? You grab your spare. And this one is pretty fucking full. I can hear it swishing around in there. Definitely catch you cool cobras on the next one.